Here you will see clearly that Ghana's population doubles every 30 years. It means that if in 2020 we are 30 million estimated, add 30 years to 2020, it means by 2050, if today we are 30 million, we are going to be 60 million. In the same space of Ghana. So Muslim leaders, what do we ought to do? It means the only way Muslims can fight and entrench themselves is investing in science and technology. So that people will be following us to provide services and not we following any other person. The second most important thing is our own peace and solidarity, which Al-Sunnah has already achieved. So longer is there peace and solidarity, believing in ourselves, that we can do this for ourselves. And I think Sheikh mentioned it very clearly at the beginning. And thirdly, self-reliance from here. And let me tell you, in 30 years to come, we won't be like this anymore. No. You see, so I won't take much of your time. The census itself, statistical service, how will you officially recognize imam as a volunteer or focal person? They say, oh no, the official should just go to the field, go and greet the chief, go and greet the imam. I say, look, you are wrong. If somebody is volunteering, somebody should know that he's the one you have earmarked to volunteer. If everybody gets up, I'm a volunteer. Their intention may be to spoil this thing, but if the person is recognized, we consider him like that. Now, the focal person, we told them clearly, our resident imams in Muslim communities are the most appropriate focal persons.
Media. Duka komi na mu yanzu muna da komi yanzu. Jesa kamar abin da mu plan ne muna giginawa. Jesa Allah ya sa mu dace. To shi muke cikin ga jesa ko roki Allah mu kowa ya sa kwazo abin nan mu yi muka yi shi to mun gama komi mun yi addini mun yi duniya kuma Allah ya sa mu dace Allah ya mu rokatun.
Shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. I'm very grateful to be with you, and I will start with as you are looking at us in this meeting, we are going to use it to know the level of our initiative that we are going to make in this meeting. Is we are trying to see that our youth are well powered, because most of them are not in good condition of employment. So Al-Sunnah are here today to see, to create investment that we can help our youth to get some enough thing for them to live in this world. As we said before, we have started this thing before Corona, but as all of you know, the Corona comes and then stop everything, even not in Ghana, the whole world. So we are now coming back to move, to see the way forward, how we can help ourselves and then help our youth to move in their education and then in their work, their technicals, all part of, education. We are going to look at it for us to help. I think this is our initiative, as you see it in our motto, that creating Islamic investment awareness, the Aswad initiative. I think when you look at it, you will see that we are moving forward, inshallah.
We are here gathered today as the hierarchy of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah countrywide. And the purpose of the gathering is this one is a follow-up meeting of a previous one held on the last day of March, and then it entered into the first day of April this year. this particular meeting, which is happening today on the 12th of June, which will pass through tomorrow, which is the 13th of June, is a follow-up meeting. We've set for ourselves targets. We realize that in all our endeavors, we need money, finance to move us. And to be able to do that, we need to invest. And so we are here gathered to collate what we have gathered along the regions and then invest into a viable project or viable projects, dependent on the size of the money, for it to sort of start churning out more funds for us to tackle pertinent issues that concern Islam in this country. Among them, good schools that will allow Muslim students to fast in school. And I believe you understand what I'm saying. We need to look at having hospitals of our own, where, referral hospitals I mean, where when Muslims are taken there, men will be taken care of by men doctors and women will be taken care of by women doctors. This is one of the targets. We also need to establish good tertiary institutions where our children will be trained alongside Islamic principles. You can see that in our society today, while people look for lucrative jobs, the people who get those jobs are not trained morally. So you find that embezzlement, what you call embezzlement and what you call misuse of monies and that kind of thing have become very rife in the society. Many of them are taken about by governments, taken to court and that kind of thing. But the end result is nothing to write home about. And so our funds keep sinking, and today everybody is a witness of the size of loans that we have taken, which most of our monies are used to repay, and yet we keep, contracting those loans. Now it is a very difficult thing, a very rare thing for any project to be initiated and then funded by Ghanaian money. Whenever a project is initiated, it is funded by a foreign loan. And loans are always meant to be paid for. What are we leaving our children and grandchildren? Huge loans to be paid. We need to tackle the issue headlong, and that's what we are trying to do. My name is 𝗖𝗿𝗲𝗁, the General Secretary of 𝗓𝘃 وَالْجَمَاعة. So 𝗲𝗿𝗃𝗁 is actually an acronym for 𝗓𝘃 وَالْجَمَاعة. And 𝗓𝘃 وَالْجَمَاعة is that group of Muslims who believe that Islam should be practiced according to the tenets and teachings of the Quran and the Hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Holy Quran, and He sent it through the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who actually practicalized what he was sent to tell people. So he is the first point of education. If you want to practice Islam, you look at how the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam practices it, and then you toe the line. Anybody who practices that is a member of 𝗓𝘃 وَالْجَمَاعة. Now, 𝗓𝘃 وَالْجَمَاعة, Ghana here, we had the difficulty. The unfortunate issue that happened was that while the Christian religion was brought here into this country by missionaries. When I talk about missionaries, people who are trained in their religion and are sent here to be with the people and then train the people in the religion that they are selling. In our case, Islam came to Ghana through traders. People who came to trade. But because of the beauty of their character, the moral manners that they sold out to the people made a lot of people convert. And the first group of people to convert were the chiefs and then the well-to-do. When I say well-to-do, I mean the rich. These were the people who traded with them, because the kind of goods that they brought, you needed money to be able to buy them. So they interacted with those people, and many of them started converting. And in that time, it was said that, you know, heads of households are the heads of those, you know, areas. You find a person, you know, having how many children, and then those children, he lives together with them in a large compound. If you marry, they give you a space in the compound to build your house, and then you are there with your wife and children if they come. So they have a one compound where they eat together. So they sit together. This woman brings her food there, this one brings her food, and then they all eat as a family. So when the head converts, everybody automatically converts, because the father will make sure of that. That rich man who converted will make sure his children have converted into that region. Now that religion, I mean, those who taught or who converted those people, when the time is nigh for them to go back, they do. They go back to where they came from, and then they leave the people that they have converted to their faith. Mercifully, some of them will be learning, you know, short verses of the Quran, which they will be leading the people with. But when something happens, like there's death, there's, you know, birth, there's, you know, a societal gathering, people use their intellect, and then many a time they use traditional, you know, things that they do to beef it up with the religion. And so the religion became corrupted. It was a matter of using the narrative that you have learned from the Quran, and mostly your traditions and, you know, practical norms that you have in the system, until, you know, 𝗔𝘄𝗿𝗄𝘁 stood up against these malpractices, pointing them out, and then using the Quran as a source of knowledge to let people understand that these things are not part of Islam. But because that order had already permeated into the system, they met a lot of challenges. Until, you know, some of them went to the Gulf, the Arab states, to learn. They came back with a wealth of knowledge. And these are the people who helped talk about Sheikh 𝗖𝗿𝗄𝗁, talk about Sheikh Adam Baba, talk about Sheikh Umar Ibrahim, who is currently the national Imam of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. These people helped to transform the society. Now, when they did that, they were left with segmental places. You find them, you know, having followership in segmental places. Then the idea came that all of them should come together as one entity. And that happened in August 1997, where an imam was inducted. He became the first national imam of Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah in Ghana, and he's still the national imam because Allah has not taken him away yet. We hope that he will leave us with him for a certain period of time before he takes off. Naturally, everybody will die, but we wish that Allah will let him see the fruits of what together we have sown. That's what we are wishing for.
𝗔𝘄𝗿𝗄𝗁 والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Wato taro mu yau na ahli sunna wal jama'a kasan Ghana baki daya. Yau mun zo ne mu ci gaba da meeting da muka tun yi shi a cikin karshen watan March zuwa farkon rana na April. To yau June 12th muna nan ga mu ci gaba da ababen da muka tattauna wannan lokacin. Mun dace kaman za mu tara arziki mu sa cikin harakoki wanda za su hayyafa kudi mu yi aiki da shi, domin harkan ba da kudi ba bai tafiya. Kuma yaranmu da jikokinmu da muke haifansu ya kama da mu bar musu gado wanda yake zai taimake su a cikin rikon addini musulunci. To shi yasa muka taru yau nan za mu duba abin da muka tara a cikin kasan Ghana duka baki daya, sannan kuma mu bayyana ma jama'a idan mun koma gida, domin rijin duka suna nan ga, ko rijin kuma rijin imamin shi da kanshi ko kuwa na'ibi shi suke nan ga. sun je gida aikin da za su je su yi kenan, abin da aka tarnanga da abin da aka dace kamar za a sa ciki su duka sun ji, kuma in an sa cikin abin da aka kashe sun ji, mu ka kare kuma in ya fara hayyafan kudi kuma sun ji, komai mu muna son ya zama white ba wani black ciki. To harakan da zamu yi kenan kuma muna rokan Allah ubangiji madaukin sarki ya taimake mu. Shi yasa dukai da kasa wani abu ciki ko dalla kasa ciki ka tabbatar kaman ka ji labarin abin da aka yi da kudin nan, domin ahlus sunna jama'a ya samu ci gaba cikin harkar mu a kasar Ghana. Wassalamu alaikum.
Ana 𝗜𝘃𝗏𝗺𝗏 Bunu East Regional Imam. Muna ma Allah godiya da yawa. Wannan taro da muka zo a cikin lokacin koronan nan shine taro na biyu. Kuma mun zo ne mu zo mu tattauna. Domin me a cikin zaman da muka yi mun duba mun ga kamar tun lokacin da sha'anin ahlus sunna ya tashi an samu ci gaba kwarai ta fuskan addinin mu, hankali ya kwanta, kuma mun tabbatar kamar komai yana tafiya daidai. To amma yanzu wannan zama da aka yi mun zauna ne kuma mu duba yaya za mu iya mu yi hanyar da za mu ɗauki mu tara kuɗi da yawa, mu rinƙe gine-gine kamar varsity, kamar wato secondary, kamar primary, kamar dai institutions dai da yake wato zai taimaki 'ya'yan musulmi. Wannan shine musamman abin da yasa aka zo wannan taro za a duba. Amma batun wa'azi dai a nuna ma mutane gaskiya dai alhamdulillah an yi kokari. To yanzu an shiga steps na biyu kenan. Don shi Allah ya taimake mu, Allah kuma rufa asiri, Allah biya bukata, Allah ya ba mu ƙwazon wannan aiki. Kuma da kuke zuwa kuna ɗaukan wannan maganganu kuna taimakawa, Allah ya rufa muku asiri. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifuna wassalamu alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Salamu alaikum.
Sannan cikin ku mun roka